Now, for the students who took to the streets to demonstrate against the increase in tuition fees, he became a face of the protest. Alfie Meadows, who's on trial for violent disorder, has now described for the first time the moment he was smashed over the head with a police baton as trouble flared in London in December 2010. Tonight, Channel 4 News can show that footage being used by the prosecution, which they claim shows Alfie Meadows playing a willing role in a violent mob. Here's our Home Affairs correspondent, Simon Israel.
Today, philosophy student Alfie Meadows went into the witness box to defend himself not against police batons, but against a charge of violent disorder. For on the night of December the 9th, 2010, the fourth student protest, the prosecution argued police and CCTV footage showed him as part of a violent mob engaged in a ferocious and sustained assault on police. This is the first time this footage has been broadcast. Alfie was dressed in a camouflage jacket, red scarf and sometimes a black balaclava. The student told Kingston Crown Court that having been on 3 previous demonstrations, he was anxious about being filmed. Some images of students, he said, had ended up on the website run by the extremist English Defence League. He described to the court how in the afternoon he had witnessed protesters being crushed and hit with police batons in one corner of Parliament Square. As evening fell, the court heard how he and some friends had tried to leave up Whitehall, but had been pushed back by a line of officers in riot gear, supported by charging police horses. He said they were forced back towards Parliament Square with no way out. He said they'd found themselves right in the middle of containment. Metal fencing was going backwards and forwards over the crowds, he said. The student admitted to touching one of the railings. The aim, he said, was to push the police back, but a senior officer overseeing the operation was clearly anxious.
That push you've got, please use all reasonable force, but do it as soon as possible to take the pressure off our officers on this line. They're coming under severe violence, and I do fear for their life, so please do it urgently. Over.
In court, the student said it didn't seem like police were in danger.
I didn't think there was any possibility of injury to the police.
You simply didn't care.
I wanted to defend other people.
Did you care at all about any of the officers?
I didn't intend to hurt anyone at all.
The 21-year-old accused the police of being aggressive, blocking the exits, of herding protesters and pushing down on them. The court heard that it was during these clashes that led to Alfie Meadows suffering head injuries, which would require emergency brain surgery that night.
One police officer was waving his baton above his head. I turned my back, then felt a huge blow. Never felt anything so hard. Never felt so much pain.
The 21-year-old and 4 others deny charges of violent disorder.